You can probably tell from the title of this video that since you last saw us, a lot has changed. So let me catch you up on the past 6 months of our lives. After we visited Iguazu Falls, we flew from Brazil to the US. I cut off all my hair, and our cruise company claimed that they couldn't give us a contract together anymore. So we had to decide between not seeing each other for an entire year or leaving the company. Obviously, we chose the latter, but that meant that we spent the entire summer trying to figure out what we were gonna do next. We decided to apply for a working holiday visa in Australia, which gives full working rights for a year. Okay, now that you're all caught up, that brings us to the start of this vlog. Today is officially the day before I leave for Australia. Kind of an insane thing to say, but honestly it's true. We actually bought our plane tickets like 6 weeks ago, and I remember at the time I was like, okay, we have like a month and a half. Probably it's gonna go by quickly, but also it's not like we're leaving next week, and it literally feels like that was just last week and it's already here. I finished packing, somehow managed to get all the stuff that I want to take into a suitcase in my backpack. Is it like just under the weight limit? Yep. Is that a problem for future me? Also, yes. So I'm not gonna worry about that now. That'll be my problem later on. The past couple of weeks I've been trying to visit people, hang out with my friends, say goodbye. If I'm being honest, no matter how many times I leave home for an extended period of time, saying goodbye really doesn't get any easier for me. It's always just as hard. Like, you miss family and friends, and I have a lot of people from ships that I miss that I didn't realize I wouldn't be seeing anytime soon. So yeah, it's just been an interesting past couple of months. A lot has changed and it's finally here. I'm kind of just ready to finally be done with it, so the anticipation is not creeping up on me. Don't get me wrong, I am really excited to actually be doing this, but I think I'll finally feel better once we're there because everything will be sorted. We already have a job, which is shocking. We have a place to stay. There are just so many details that we've figured out, and when we finally get there, we'll actually get to relax a bit. So I'm excited, but I think until we actually land and we're there, the anticipation is still gonna be there. So at this point, I kind of just want it to be over. I also just hate saying goodbye to my cats because I love them so much and I'm gonna miss them. Hi. Oh, this for sure is also not fun.
Kiki's hanging out with me for my last night because she's the cutest.
Now I'm gonna try and get some sleep, although I have a feeling I probably won't actually be able to. And I'll see you at the airport.
Several hours later.
Bye. I'm gonna miss you too. Okay, one last goodbye. Love you, Kiki.
Okay, I got to Logan not that long ago, probably around 6, and I just ate some breakfast. I really didn't sleep last night. All I could think about was the things that I probably forgot, and luckily I did remember some things, like little things. I'm just already tired, but it's okay. And at 9:43 is flight 1 of 3, and I'm flying to Chicago. For context, Guy went back to Brazil before we moved to Australia, so he had started his journey the day before I did. Okay, well, I'm waiting for my next flight, and I don't see a plane. The layover was pretty short. We were supposed to already start boarding. There's nothing there. So yeah, I think a delay is coming. Also, someone let me know why people are already lined up. What are you waiting for? So I'm about to board my second flight, and it was a little bit delayed. I think in between the time that I got off the plane and when boarding was supposed to start, I had like 45 minutes. So I ran to go to the bathroom, find food, and find my gate because I was in like a different part of the airport. And I get here and there's literally no plane, no nothing. Anyway, plane finally showed up and they started boarding, so I should be going in a couple minutes. My next stop was LAX, which is where Guy and I had planned to meet up for the rest of the trip. I enjoyed the views from my window while I waited to see him. So we've been in LA for a couple hours now. Basically our layover was, since I got here, almost 7 hours. My plan is to stay awake now and sleep for as much as I can on the flight, but I'm like sitting in my chair, eyes closed, like there's nothing I can do to keep myself awake. I think boarding starts in like 50 minutes, Also, he was waiting outside my gate when I got off my last flight, which was very nice. So at least now we can do the rest of the journey together. But yeah, I'm just trying my best not to fall asleep, and it's not working. Our flight was a total of 15 hours, which fortunately we both slept through most of. Okay, well, we made it to Sydney very, very early, and our check-in isn't until 3 unless they can let us in early, so we're just waiting for them to let us know, and then we have to take a train for like 50 minutes. So for now, we're just hanging out in, I don't know what part of the airport, near the trains.
Near the charging station?
Oh yeah, the charging station. This is our contraption, because they had all of these and not a single one worked. So we found one on the wall and we've made our own. Immigration was not bad, it was pretty quick. They didn't actually check the visa, I guess it's automatically linked to the passport, so that was nice. Except Guy couldn't use the electronic one because he's from South America, so thanks Australia. You had to go on a separate line.
It was just for the yellow fever thing.
Yeah. Did they look at your vaccine card?
Which was the yellow fever.
Okay. And other than that, the last flight was pretty uneventful. Before we even made it on the flight, I was like fighting for my life to stay awake and failing. And so as soon as we got there, I passed out. So I really didn't record much because I was really not there. That was an out-of-body experience. I think I was in and out of sleep for most of the flight, so it didn't feel like 15 hours. It was still long, but it wasn't like the worst thing on the planet. Thoughts?
There's a lot.
And this is all our stuff. So yeah, we made it here successfully. No major delays, no major issues. And now we're just waiting to go to our Airbnb thing. So we ended up waiting at the airport for like hours until our room was ready. And then we took the train, which, I don't know, on Google Maps it was saying it would be like 45 minutes, but I honestly think it was less. It wasn't that bad. And the walk from the station is just a couple minutes. So we're here, and it's a very small room, but it's nice and has everything that we should need. Now we finally get to actually like rest a little bit. Our stuff is kind of everywhere, but this is what it looks like. Has a little kitchen, a bathroom, and also even like a little balcony. Okay, so we were going to go to the bank and get all our stuff done, and then we realized it's Saturday and the bank's not open. So now we're just gonna go to Sydney and start looking around, see what we can find, get some lunch, and I guess we'll go to the bank on Monday. Then earlier we also applied for our tax number, so hopefully on Monday we can call and see if we can get it early. But
next stop, Nawi.
Our first stop was a park in the city. Okay, look at these birds. They're actually kind of crazy. They are actually a type of ibis, but Aussies just call them bin chickens because they are always digging around in the trash. The park isn't anything crazy, we were just really jet lagged and trying to push through so we could see some of Sydney. Of course, our next stop was Sydney Harbour, the most iconic spot in the city. Okay, finally made it to the Opera House. Come here. So now we actually feel like we're in Australia, as opposed to yesterday. We didn't really feel like that because we were just in our apartment. And yeah, we were like half alive. Oh my god, this is crazy though. The Sydney Opera House is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, but honestly, I think I've wanted to visit the Opera House since watching Finding Nemo as a kid. Unfortunately, P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney is not really a dentist office, but I was still happy to be there. We walked around the Opera House, taking our touristy photos, and starting to really feel like we had officially begun our Aussie adventure. It was busy at the time we had stopped by, but we honestly didn't mind. So, we're at the Opera House. It's actually really pretty. But it's okay. We also didn't realize that the sides of it were like tiles. Like we just thought it was all white, but if you get up close, it's actually individual diamond-shaped white tiles, which is pretty cool. We You can't walk all the way behind it, but you can get up pretty close. And I don't know, and then you can just see the view of the harbor and the city, and it's really pretty here. So, I don't know, but it's a solid experience, I would say. We also spotted this long-nosed fur seal named Benny. He is often found sunbathing behind the Opera House in front of his adoring fans. We enjoyed the views of the harbor before continuing on to our next stop. Luckily, it wasn't far. Yeah, you may have noticed by now, but we really like parks. Anyway, we pretty much just enjoyed the nice weather and walked around looking at all the plants. These leaves are huge.
So random.
Oh my god, imagine you're trying to come here to enjoy the peace and quiet of the park. We did manage to see some birds and even some freshwater eels. These eels start their life in the Coral Sea near New Caledonia, then they drift to Australia, swim upstreams, and find themselves in ponds like this one. So yeah, they can survive fresh and salt water, and I believe they can even survive on land for short periods of time. We met a random guy who gave us all of this information about the eels and even gave us some bread to feed them with. We finished our day with one last view of the Opera House before heading back to Padstow for the night. This video marks the start of our newest adventure together, so don't forget to subscribe to come along with us while we travel through the land down under.